Well, Gary, here was the candidate that is probably as admirable a person as you could see in terms of where she's come from and with her conviction, although some of it I think is probably, nutsy. But nevertheless, admirable in her
well, you
passion.
Would characterize
in her
that.
passion.
Look, she's a conservative that has libertarian tendencies on some issues. But what's interesting about this, David, is this. Debra Medina has come out of nowhere. Nobody knew who Debra Medina was statewide except her community in Wharton, which is not enough really to make a big difference, even though it's a nice town. She's come out of nowhere. She's over 10%, and I'm predicting that after the next debate, we may see her over 20%, which I believe shows that the electorate is not very happy with what they have to choose from. Kind of like what happened in Massachusetts. Scott Brown. Scott Brown wins in Massachusetts because there's a dissatisfaction with the establishment. Brown ran as kind of an outsider. He was a state senator, not part of Washington, and was successful. Medina has come on, I think, part of those same cross currents. People are happy. I think clearly.
Of course, Gary, you're talking about an ex-client of yours, so I mean you're a little bit biased, and you do admire the woman and her libertarian views, and you're more of a libertarian than you are anything.
I do admire Debra.
It's just
She's
that
a good woman.
but honestly, she has no political support other than some voters. She doesn't have any big endorsements. Ron Paul, he may be supporting her, but I read his letter. Says she's just a good friend, and he hopes people get to know her. I mean, the Tea Party crowd is energized. Maybe they're coming into this right now. But what did you believe? What did you accept of her views on gun control and nullification of state law, federal law?
I think a number of her views are interesting and make sense. But I will say this. She's going to come on to such an extent that I'm predicting we'll have a runoff for governor in the Republican primary, so we'll not decide this till April.
There you heard it.